there. Hey, Ashley, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Greta?
Doing well. Thanks for taking some
Good.
time to meet with me and share what we have going on here with the
Of
rest of the
course.
real estate community.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to be here. I was watching right before you invited me in, and you
Hmm.
were just talking about the growth we've experienced, and all I heard was
Yes.
13 to, so what are we updating everybody on?
So we went from, 13 agents, back last year when Jeremiah got this all
Oh,
started
yeah.
to, over 100 and,
Hmm.
40 folks that we've seen join just in the last year, which is a bananas. I believe we're above 160 now. In
So
our
fun.
onboarding last Thursday, we had 24 agents, I believe, in our onboarding.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so a lot of
So
growth going
exciting.
on in New Jersey,
Hmm.
Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. And I know you're seeing a lot on the forefront of what we're building, right in Delaware and Maryland, and
Yeah.
seeing folks growing, with all the systems that they've been able to implement.
Yes, yeah, and we're having so much fun too.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
that's what I love. Like we just get to grow and do it with people that are just great people, and it's just been really exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes all the difference when
Yeah,
like showing up at work and, it's enjoyable to do so and can collaborate, with folks. So,
yeah.
what have you been finding that, today's productive agents have been asking for in 2026?
So productive agents right now are asking for a few things. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, they're asking for a really strong financial model from their brokerage, meaning something that's very competitive given the current market and the way that we are seeing so much pressure on agents and on their expenses. I mean, there's just so many things that we have to pay for all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are looking for a competitive financial model. They're looking for additional opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of traditional brokerages just don't offer anything outside of like your day to day of helping people buy and sell real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And the brokerage is there more just for like compliance and that kind of thing on the back end. And then I think too, like they're looking for real tools and resources to build a business. They're
Mm-hmm.
looking for something they can plug into that's super valuable, that will grow their business, save them time, save them money, and let them go do what they do best, which is being out in front of consumers and helping
Mm-hmm.
them buy and sell real estate.
Yeah. And you said something that's really important there, like time and money and saving people on those things. And I feel like those items are so much more valuable in 2026 than they were a decade ago,
Yeah.
as simple as it is. And so, being very thoughtful and mindful of your time and how it's
Hmm.
being spent. I mean, we're able to leverage AI to save us time on all these little areas, but if we're not actually implementing those items to help us save time and money in our business, like what are we actually doing?
Right. Right.
So,
Exactly. And that's what everybody needs. And we're always looking to get our time back for sure.
hmm,
Right. So
exactly. Yeah, we're slammed as agents. Yeah.
yeah, my morning would yeah, if somebody followed me today, they'd be like, Ashley, what are you even doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything.
Yeah. Life of an agent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, solving the relationship problems, holding deals together, setting
All
new
the things.
appointments. Yeah, all the
My
things.
marketing for my new listing, all the things. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, what do you think agents need that they actually like aren't getting? Like, what is working for agents that you're seeing lately?
Well, so, we know I've been in this industry forever, right? 21 years. That is basically half of my life at this point. Um, the industry has changed dramatically
Mm-hmm.
since I first got into it, and I was a new agent 20 years ago. Um, and so I think that, these internet portals have really interrupted how many agents conduct their real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of what is happening is that these internet portals are intercepting clients that may have come to us through other channels,
Mm-hmm.
just because their marketing is so strong and
Mm-hmm.
their consumer experience within their apps is, very simple and streamlined and attractive
Mm-hmm.
to consumers. So I think the number one thing that a lot of agents are missing right now is a consistent internet lead generation leg for their
Hmm.
business. I think that's a big one. Um, I think that also just general like systems and
Hmm.
again, those things that you can plug right into that are going to do a lot of the work for you so you can stay focused and keep things moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. It's about, running your business like a business. And, let's be honest, most training in real estate kind of sucks. Like you get
Hmm.
a license and you just get thrown out into the
Yeah.
world of real estate saying, go sell a house. You're qualified now. But
Yes.
do you actually know how to write the contract? Do you know what little nuances you need to have a
Hmm.
competitive offer? Do you know what conversations you need to be having to get the client under a buyer agency contract and, the correct mannerism to go about that so you're not
Right.
overstepping other agents or, just servicing yourself or the client?
Hmm.
There's a lot that goes into it. And so having systems that are going to train you and mentor you from the start,
Hmm.
or even as an agent who's, come in with, your business from where you're at, you say you're selling 6 homes a year. Okay, how do you get that to
Right. How do
that
you
next
scale it? How do
level
you
and
grow it?
scale it to like, okay, now I want to do a home every month. Okay, now I
Right.
want to do, 3 sales a month. Like, okay, where do I, hire new people on? Where do I take new leads in? Where do
Hmm.
I take that risk? There's a lot
Right.
of risk too involved of like, okay,
Absolutely.
what am I going to change within that system to scale?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like as I was listening to you in the beginning of that, I always noticed there were certain brokerages that had really good training as far as contracts. And
Hmm.
let's make sure you're super professional and you know exactly how to do this the right way, which is
That's
so
how I was
important.
trained from the start. Luckily,
Same.
I had an office manager that took the time to do so with me.
Yeah.
I found that that's not the case. I've had other agents like bring me contracts from the other side, and it's like
Mhm.
atrocious.
They're a
You're like, oh,
mess.
what are you even doing?
Yeah. So those things are very, very important, how to properly service and represent your client, right? Where I found over the years as both an agent and as a leader in this industry too,
Hmm.
is there was a gap for a lot of agents in they couldn't even practice or put into practice all that training they were receiving on contracts
Hmm.
because they didn't have the leads to talk to.
And if
And
you're only writing a contract every 3 months quarterly, like how do you even remember what you're doing? How can you be a
right,
professional if you're only selling 4 homes a year and only
right.
doing that quarterly?
Right, right. And so I always felt like that was a gap. And some of
Hmm.
the brokerages I
Agreed.
was with did have phenomenal training programs. I was a productivity coach, so for
Hmm.
years I trained brand new agents both on how to bring in their own leads and then how to write the contract, get it through to close, their post-closing follow-up systems, all of those things. But what I noticed some of the agents really struggled was
Hmm.
just finding business
Hmm. Exactly.
because they're communicating with their friends and family, but that doesn't mean that their friends and family are going to turn around and hire them, right? That just
Hmm.
doesn't always happen. So, um, there has always, I think, been a gap there is on the lead generation side of things, and also for agents who are in that place to grow. So let's say someone is closing 2 to 3 deals a month, but they want to grow bigger they hit the ceiling, and honestly that ceiling is generally like systems, people, and leads. Those are the three biggest things: systems, people,
Hmm.
and leads.
Systems, people, and leads. Hmm.
And it depends on the agent which and their business which one of those levers is going to need to be implemented first to set them off on the right path, but it honestly always comes down to those three things.
Yeah, it's those three things. And then it's also being confident and knowing what to say
Yeah.
and, taking the time to practice your role plays,
Hmm.
practice your listing appointment, practice your buyer presentation, and, also practice taking the time to analyze what went well and what didn't go well within your past client meetings, whether that was like a phone
Hmm.
call or a showing or an open house. Let's,
Absolutely.
take a step back and look at it like a business and say, okay, let's
Hmm.
follow the breadcrumbs on like what worked well and
Hmm.
repeat that. And then let's
Yeah.
look back and say, hey, I probably shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have, followed up there.
Right. Right.
Exactly. So, kind of going back to like that scaling thing. So, if you were an agent starting over today in today's market and, you're doing 5 to 10 transactions a year, what would you do differently to take that to that next level in 2026?
So, first of all, I would study the marketing of people who are doing what I want to do as far as production, right? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
would just pay attention to what they're doing because the marketing game has changed. It's
Mm-hmm.
so different. And
But that
so,
skill of what you're talking about is the same, because when I first got started,
yeah,
that's what I did. And I looked around
right.
at, what all the other agents were that were
Hmm.
doing that I wanted to do,
Yeah,
and, just started to like replicate little things there and make it my own, and that works. So I
exactly.
think it's the same in today's market. It's just different strategies.
Exactly. And so go find somebody who's doing what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
and don't copy them. Guys, don't copy anybody,
No.
but go emulate what they're doing, right? And make it your own. Put your own spin into it, but pay attention to what they're doing. And I also think surrounding yourself with people who are already ahead of you on your journey and are doing what you want to do in a way that you want to do it, because there are so many different ways to approach this industry and this business.
So true.
You have to find those people. And so there are so many people in this industry who are willing to give you their time and attention, but you just need to find them and find the right
Mm-hmm.
fit. Which, that in itself can make all the difference. So, yeah, if I would go find the people doing what I want to do, emulate what they're doing. I would also, if I could change something in my own journey, I would have embraced internet leads and internet portals a lot earlier
Mm-hmm.
in my journey than I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little bit harder for somebody who's been in the industry for a very long time and
Mm-hmm.
who was very used to like the way things used to work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that just takes time to adopt a new to you strategy. But again, if I'm looking at someone else who has the size and the type of business that I want to have,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go do what they're doing, right?
Yeah. And let's be honest, the industry's changed. Like
It
Zillow
has.
Flex has been a newer thing just, since
Hmm.
2021 within growing teams and organizations, and
Right.
the way the brokerage model is, you know, it, moving is changing.
Hmm.
And so I think that there's, a different way of looking at the industry,
Yeah.
and a different way that folks need to look at running their business potentially to, really take that to the next level.
Hmm.
I mean, we've seen folks that have bought into the program here that have done that, like Lindsay. Um, she's done more business in the last 90 days than she did all of last year. And she
I
joined us in
know.
March. Like, we were just
And
talking about this, what was it? Her first 10 days, she like added an additional 150,000 GCI, and it's
insane.
just like gone
Insane.
from there.
Yeah, she came in and her entire business exploded in such a fun, exciting, positive way, right?
I love
And
it.
she has just stayed on that trajectory. She just got back from vacation, and you know this. I was filling in for her while she was gone, and
Yeah.
between my stuff, so my director role, my own production, and filling in for her and covering her team, I was like,
And mom
okay,
duty.
I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, mom duty during the summer. I was like, I
Yeah.
think between the two of us, I think we actually need like five of us. Like there's, just so much going on, but it's been really fun to watch her journey because she is and was previously a successful agent. Like we're not talking about somebody who's brand new, who had very low numbers, who then just all of a sudden triple or quadrupled their production. Like we're talking a consistent, productive agent who came in and plugged into what we were doing and used it to her advantage. And she's just taken off. And it's just so fun to watch.
That's so cool. And like that's not normal to see that sort of,
No.
percentage growth. I think like what,
Mm-mm.
15% growth year to year annually for a business is considered amazing.
Right.
So to see, you know,
I pulled her numbers year over year. It's 61% growth year over year.
way to go, Lindsay.
Right. Like, and that's the year's like not even over.
No, I know. We're only, in August. You can still get deals in before the end of the year.
We
And
still
that's what
have
I
four
keep
months.
telling
Exactly.
people. Like, if you are going out with clients in September, you
Hmm.
can still get those people under contract and
Absolutely.
close before the end of this year. You can still get sales in this year. But, if you
Yeah.
start going out with people in October, those clients probably aren't going to be closing until, Q1 with you. And then we're in the months of winter and when it's
Yeah.
cold and
Just takes a
everybody's
little longer.
priorities changed
They're
and
hibernating.
exactly. Everyone's like, call me when it's warm again.
Yeah.
Especially after last winter, we'll see what happens this year's
Right.
winter.
Right.
So yeah, what about agents, that are, doing 20 to 30 sales? Like, how are you seeing them scale higher?
So, I mean that's the Lindsay conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of you've got somebody who knows how to find a client, get a contract, get it through to closing. They have a lot to offer to their clients because they're experienced. They have a great customer service process.
Mm-hmm.
So by 20 to 30, you've started to figure some things out. There's still a ton of room to grow from there in this industry. But to get to 20 to 30, you're doing pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
that
That's a
that comes,
solid business. Like,
yeah,
pat yourself on the back for
abs
like doing 20 to 30.
absolutely.
That's like phenomenal in this
Yeah,
industry. And then if
exactly.
you can then look at, okay, how can I systemize this and like really take it to scale from there? And maybe
Yes.
you're a team leader, or not a team leader, maybe you're an agent who's considering being a team leader and maybe
Hmm.
looking at the steps to growing a team. Okay, what
Right.
are the next steps to like actually make that blossom and actually stick?
Hmm.
Because taking your time out of your production to then focus on recruiting and helping somebody else out with their sales, it
Yeah,
takes time away from your
it
production. So
does.
finding that balance isn't the easiest, and you got to find where you're getting joy from within your work too, with
Hmm.
what your why is and
Right.
where you light up within that,
Hmm.
as well, because I found that certain people get into running a team and helping other agents, and they realize, hey, I actually like being a teacher and a coach better than I like
Yeah.
helping my clients and dealing with the ups and downs of real estate. And other people get into it and they're like, no, I don't want to deal with other people's agents problems.
I
I
just want to
like to
close my own deals.
I just want
Yep.
to close my own deals, focus on my productivity and what
Yeah.
I'm doing, and like go crush. And both
Hmm.
are awesome, but it's
They're
like
amazing. Yeah.
we actually have systems through the collective
Hmm.
and through our network and what we're building here, that we have opportunities to help out agents in both situations, which is, I
Yeah.
feel, pretty unique.
I agree. And that's where, so I brought like three little case studies for us to talk about
Yes.
today, right? From
Awesome.
our Delaware and Maryland collective. So Lindsay is one of them. We just talked about Lindsay. Now, someone else in her position, my first piece of advice to them would be get the things off your plate that you do not like to do. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, that don't light you up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your marketing? Find a way to leverage that, get somebody to handle some of that for you. We also have some really great systems and tools at Real for marketing, right? Like you can
Mm-hmm.
just plug and play a lot of it. And it's getting better. And Leo 2.0 is going to be phenomenal. I just was
I
on the
can't
meeting
wait.
yesterday. I can't wait. Um, so for somebody like Lindsay, I'd say that's step number one. Get those 20 to 30 deals a year. You're in growth mode. Get the things off your plate that don't light you up and
Mm-hmm.
free up your time so that you can give it to other people. You can coach and train those agents that you bring in and work together with them to grow something bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so also on the recruiting side of things, just this morning, you helped Lindsay add a new person to her team.
Yay!
So she's got, did you even know?
No, I didn't even know. Yeah, I've been talking to so many people. Yeah, actually, I just
Mhm.
handed off someone else that signed up and is meeting with Alex Robinson over on our
Nice.
New Jersey
Hmm.
side of things. And awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm
Yeah.
so happy that that worked out with Lindsay there because I
Yeah.
know I've been trying to get folks
Hmm.
moving that direction.
Yeah. So you were able to be leverage for her, right? She didn't have to go find that next agent to bring in to help grow her business and to pour into that person. You helped her find that person, and now she and I can just get him on board and up and running, right? Um,
Exactly. That's what the
so
network and knowing people and plugging yourself into the
exactly.
right area
Exactly.
makes a world of difference.
It's huge.
My mom would always tell me that her grandfather would say, "It's not who you know, it," or
Hmm.
excuse me, her grandfather would always say, "It's not what you know, it's who you know,"
Yeah.
and
Right.
that just keeps coming with back to me.
Yeah. 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 So that's my thing for Lindsay. Find the leverage that you need to get some of the things off your plate, and you can focus on the ones that you're really passionate about and excited about. Because we all only have 24 hours in a day, and to some degree, you can't do everything on your own.
Mm-mm,
You just can't. It's not
no.
possible. So my second case study would be another one of our agents who she came on with me this time last year. So when I
Mm-hmm.
came over, she was our first agent in the collective in Delaware and
Yay.
Maryland. I love
Mm-hmm.
her to pieces. Um, Year over year, she is increased her volume 266% year over year.
Wow.
She has had more closings now in 2026. So year to date, from
Mm-hmm.
January 1st until today,
Mm-hmm.
she's had more closings than she's had any year prior.
Oh my goodness. And
And the
it's
year's not even
only
over.
August.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. And I'm not talking like she's barely outproducing it. Like she is outproducing her best years.
Oh my goodness. And
Um,
then keep like also think about all the folks that she's just been working and nurturing
yes.
these
Yes.
last 8 months as well
Mhm.
that are coming through that pipeline.
Right. And so
Yay.
for her, the things that made the biggest difference, she was already really focused on her repeat and referral business because
Mm-hmm.
she's been in the industry for, I think, 11 years at this point. So she has a
Okay.
good, like,
Yeah, she's got a
solid
good
database and
base.
relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that just wasn't producing the amount of business she wanted. And so she plugged into our Zillow leads and immediately, like, her own personal business increased, and then also her Zillow leads really ramped up. So she is currently our top performer as far as our Zillow closings. She's doing
Awesome.
phenomenal. She's seen so much growth. And I think that for her too, part of it was just being part of an environment where she felt truly supported and appreciated and like she was part of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was for Lindsay too. Like a
Yeah.
change in environment can make all the difference.
Mm-hmm. It changes your mindset on how you're going to show up. It
Hmm.
can help add to your confidence level, and then it also gives you time to leverage and add in new systems and
Hmm.
be able to take it to the next level. Because if you keep doing the same thing, I mean, just look at math, and science here. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep going in the same direction.
Yes.
But if you change your trajectory, all of a sudden you can go in a different route, but you have to stop what you were doing, take a step back and change your habits
Right.
and add in maybe a new lead source
Hmm.
or maybe another new system where you just have Maverick AI that's like following up and with your appointments for you, so that
Hmm.
takes off one less task that you need to do for
Hmm.
the day, so you
Right.
can focus on being like, hey, I'm going to use that time to prospect and
Hmm.
send out 5 more text messages to folks I haven't had a conversation with in a while to try and re-engage them. That can go much further than
Huge.
being like, hey, I'm just gonna text somebody and see if they respond back. Like AI can do
Right.
that for us.
Exactly. And our I tell Jeremiah this all the time, and I tell everyone I talk to.
Mhm.
Our follow-up boss account is the best. It is phenomenal.
I
And all of the
mean,
automations and the AI and the things that Jeremiah and the team have done to set us up for success as agents is worth its weight in gold. I am so appreciative of it. And I noticed it as soon as I plugged into it. I was like, oh, this is different. Like this is not
mhm,
just a CRM. And
mhm. Well,
it's the work that he's done on the back end.
exactly. He took the time to understand
Yeah.
agents' faults and failures because, he's
Hmm.
an agent too. He's,
Yeah.
been in the business. He gets it. He's,
Right.
grown a top team and has helped coach agents to doing, 20 plus sales a year on a regular basis,
Right.
because of the systems.
Hmm.
And you fall to your systems as
Absolutely.
basic as that is, and if you're not setting time for your prospecting and you're not having
Hmm.
automations with your follow-ups, you're losing out on opportunities. And then just
Yeah.
even like you said about utilizing the web better, having an IDX website that links to
Yes.
follow-up boss when you can see when people are active on the website
Hmm.
and then target them directly. Those little things go a long way too, because
They
you're
do.
just like getting so much more savvy within all of that.
Yeah. We have the
Yeah.
insight and you have how, what's important to them because you
Mm-hmm.
can see what they're looking at and what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing. And then you can tailor the conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hard part is a lot of times with a lot of automations I've used in the past are very generic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not customized to that specific lead or customer or client, whatever stage you're in with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so those tend to fall flat because, like, if I get a generic email, it's automatically deleted because you didn't even take the time to like look at my production, look at my background, learn anything about me, but you're sending me these very generic emails. Like, okay, whatever. And I know that home buyers and sellers and potential home buyers and sellers, they feel the same way. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be just another number
Mm-hmm.
in your database that you're
No,
calling to try
they're
to get an appointment
getting
with.
enough ads coming at them from all their streaming services and their cell phones,
Yeah,
that they don't want another ad hitting their inbox. You really
right.
need to lead with value and provide something. And especially when clients can go online and pretty much pull the majority of the information that we can see on the MLS through Zillow. Obviously, as
Yep.
agents, we have more access to disclosures and tax records and
Hmm.
seeing things beyond what the general public can. But today's consumer is a lot more equipped than the consumer
Yeah.
was a decade ago with the amount of knowledge that they
Hmm.
can get online before they meet you. So being
Yeah.
an agent, you have to know your market data. You have to know what's going on and be able to provide something to the client beyond whatever generic thing that they can find online, because they will.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I think the custom follow up that we're able to do, but we're able to scale it as well. And so I
Mm-hmm.
can talk to more people in a day. I can follow up with more people in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I can take more appointments
Mm-hmm.
because our system is doing a lot of that legwork for me.
Well, it's also just utilizing the CRM correctly too, and running
Hmm.
it like a business. And if you're really on top of it and having all the conversations, you're not going to remember all the little nuances on every
No.
little thing. You're going to need your CRM to follow up. And something I always come back to is there's a one top 1% agent that I was working with at my Sotheby's office, and he said something to me that really stuck. And he would just showing how he would take all of his notes in his CRM and he'd say, okay, I'm writing out, all the kids' names, where they go to school, all the little nuances. So that way, when I, talk with the client again, I know that their son Billy plays baseball, and now they all think I'm, amazing and really have built that further rapport with their family
Right.
and beyond. So yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
all those little just like little
Little.
techniques that you can then add in to then like
Hmm.
make it better. So
Right. And again, it's
uh,
already done for us.
yes, it's already done
I
for
don't have to
you.
create it. I just have to use it.
Yes,
That's it.
exactly. That's so awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
I know we talk with agents all the time within their business, whether they're, a brand new agent starting out, whether they're, producing, 5 to 10 sales a year, or whether they're, in this 20 to 30, a year bucket that we're talking about and considering,
Yeah.
taking that next level to growing a team, or,
Mm-hmm.
if that even makes sense. What point in time should an agent seriously evaluate their business? Because I talk with folks all the time that are like, I'm doing well. I just want to keep with what I'm doing. I don't even want to like take the time to consider what you're talking about because, things are rocking. But are they actually at the best that they could be
Right.
within
Right.
that? And
Right.
then also, you don't want to necessarily make a change when you're at the bottom, because then climbing back up that ladder to the top takes even longer.
It's hard. That's a
It's
hard
so
process. That's a
hard,
hard
when you're
process.
down in the dumps, and then you have to then change everything, and it's harder to get on top. But when you've got momentum and you make a
Yeah.
switch, sometimes that like just like can take you to that next
Mm-hmm.
level. So like, at what point in time do you like, does that switch in an agent's brain, do you think, where they can really take a step back, evaluate what they're doing, and look at if there's potential to grow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think the most obvious place is if they are stagnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not happy with that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because let's be real, some agents will get to a certain level of production and just decide that's where they want to be. They
Mm-hmm.
don't, the growth piece is not important to them. And that's phenomenal.
That's totally fine. If you're happy just doing the sales and it's consistent and you've got things that are
Absolutely.
working, don't rock the boat.
Do
But
what you're
like,
doing.
if you're like, there's something inside of me that wants to do more, how do I
Hmm.
grow?
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. I think if you're questioning it, if you're having any inkling that maybe there's something else out there, your subconscious is already telling you you need to move in that direction, right? You need to go explore and see what's out there. And like I even think about that, go back to the agent who is they like their production level, that they're
Mm-hmm.
where they want to be, but then are they maximizing their return on their time and investment? And by that I mean, are they making the most money possible that they can? And so even if they don't want to change the number of homes they sell, maybe a change to a different financial model will help them actually keep more of their hard-earned money,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So something like that. And so if you're at a brokerage where you are producing your own deals, the brokerage isn't really providing you anything other than like maybe a cool environment that you kind of like, and
Mm-hmm.
but you know how everything works, and that's great, but you're doing everything, like you are responsible for your own production as an agent, right? You hit
Mm-hmm.
that point of you know how to sell houses, you like what you're doing, but maybe you do want to make some more money or you want more opportunity. A look at a different brokerage might make sense. So just to share a little bit of fun about my last year,
Mm-hmm.
um, this move to real dramatically increased my income. And a lot of that was
Awesome.
just the different ways we can make money at real, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to share that after my first year. So I sat down last month and looked at everything.
Mm-hmm.
I only paid a half cap to real
Oh, what?
effectively because
Oh.
I made half of my cap back in revenue share,
Mm-hmm.
stock options,
Mm-hmm.
and real wallet points that I was able to claim as
Awesome.
credits. And
That's
so,
great.
as a very consistent, productive agent, I made more money. Just the brokerage change made me
Mm-hmm.
more money because
Yeah.
there's more opportunity to make money at real, right?
Yeah.
Than there was
Exactly.
where I was before.
And
And
that's an
that's,
extra 6 grand, in
yeah,
your pocket there. That's an
right.
extra $500 a month. That's a car payment.
It's a
That's a
it's a
nice
great
vacation
start.
if you save up. Like,
Yeah,
that's a phenomenal vacation if you take all that money and toss it at something. So like,
right.
or it's ways that you have, funds to then make sure your business is going. I mean, keeps
Hmm.
going,
Yes.
or reinvest those funds back
Hmm.
into your business and your marketing to leverage your growth even further.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And so that's where like my mind now is on, okay, so then this year, which I just
Hmm.
August 1st was the start of my anniversary year.
Yay,
How
congratulations.
how do I zero out my cap?
Hmm.
How do
Exactly.
I leverage the other ways that we can make money at Real and get to the point where this brokerage is now paying me to be here, right?
Hmm.
And that's a really exciting thing to look at. And 1 month in, I'm already really off to a great start. So
That's
that's pretty fun.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
it just builds, right? And so for somebody who maybe feels like they know what they're doing, they know how to sell real estate, but they want more. They want more opportunity. They want more, just a different environment, maybe a bigger environment. I mean,
Hmm.
we're a nationwide company. So, oh, really
We're a
worldwide,
worldwide company.
worldwide.
Second largest brokerage in the world, Ashley, as of
I
this
know.
week.
I know, exciting stuff happening. Um, so, you can come in at any level of production and really there's going to be somebody else outselling you, right? That you
Hmm.
can lean into as a resource and you can be inspired by and you can learn from if that growth is important to you.
Hmm.
Um, so I just, and it just comes down to the agent, but I think back to that like 20 to 30 unit producer,
Hmm.
we also have a tremendous amount of opportunity for them to, like you started to head in this direction, actually build out a team, right?
Hmm.
And have the support and the leads and the systems already built out for them. And so
Hmm.
they can plug into that and grow their team from there,
Yeah.
which is really
There's
fun too.
there's not really an SOP out there for being a team leader. Everyone's
Mm-mm.
kind of piecing things together and figuring it out on their own, even more
Right.
so than, being an agent within a brokerage, because,
Mm-hmm.
at least with an agent within a brokerage, the brokerage is helping the agent, the team leaders, trying to build their own thing.
Yeah.
And so we actually have team leader masterminds that
Mm-hmm.
we host here bi-weekly with the
Yep.
collective. So everyone can get on a call together. We share referrals. We
Mm-hmm.
share, open house opportunities. We are able to share ideas and
Yeah.
collaborate to
Right.
grow what's working within, bringing on agents
Mm-hmm.
within recruiting. What's not. What's working with getting agents to answer their phone. What's not.
Yeah. Right.
All those little things, go a long way. And when you're, a team leader, your time is so valuable because you're you came from a lot of production
Mm-hmm.
and the pressure from doing that, and then needing to now take time away from that to then focus on recruiting. When you have someone like me in your plate, that or me
Yeah.
on your in your group or in your corner, that can set up an appointment for you or pass you
Mm-hmm.
over an agent, um,
Mm-hmm.
that makes a world of difference.
It's huge. It's huge. It's so much time back. And that between that, so like the recruiting and growth support, just from
Hmm.
like, let's grow the number of agents in on my team or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Between that and then the lead share platform, the Zillow preferred leads that we
Hmm.
offer. I mean, as a team leader, you no longer have to go get those leads for your agents, right? You can plug into what we're already doing and provide those leads, which tends to be a barrier
Hmm.
for especially newer team leaders, tend to have a hard time coming up with the finances to go pay
Hmm.
for additional lead sources or additional
Hmm.
marketing to provide leads to their agents.
It's a lot. You
It
have
is a
to,
lot.
pay for programs up front. There's very few programs like this that actually convert well,
Right.
that you can rely on, that have a proven case study of
Mm-hmm.
conversion rates of 5 to 15% on closures per an
Yeah.
agent's skill level.
Right.
That's insane on an
Mm-hmm.
internet lead to be able to close at 5 to 15%. And
Right.
then plus all the other leads that you're able to grow within this, and then work and nurture from there in growing your business a few years out, because a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't transact right away. And we do have high intent leads coming in through Zillow, so we do get folks that do want to go out into a property right away and write. And I've brought on agents who have gotten clients under contract within a week of getting started. One gal got someone under contract. I had another
Yeah.
gal get somebody under contract within 24 days of coming over
Yeah.
here and getting started with the program. But then there's all the other folks that normally take, 6 months to a year to transact, that you're able to work and nurture and continue those relationships on
Yeah.
top of the folks that are saying, hey, let's go right now.
And that's so this morning, one of the things
Uh-huh.
that interrupted my morning, which was
Uh-huh.
really fun. It was a nice little unexpected surprise.
Mm-hmm.
A seller lead that came through our platform that I
Mm-hmm.
have been nurturing for 10 months.
Okay.
He called me this morning
Yay!
and
He's
said,
ready.
he said, "Hey, I'm ready. Can you come over today?"
Well, and that's why, like, real estate being boots on the ground in your
Yeah.
market and
Yes.
being available is so important, because we do get calls like that are like, hey,
Yeah.
come over right now and I'm ready to have the conversation, and you've got to be available, and you've got to answer the phone, you've got to check your email, and you got to be on top of that, so that way you can get that client when they do come through the woodwork. And what I've
Exactly.
been telling folks too is that having this program where you have constant leads coming through and you have a system to work and nurture, it
Mhm.
actually helps all your other leads and everything else you're doing too, because you are constantly in there on the daily. You're creating a workflow of what you're doing, and then all those other little pieces aren't going through the cracks. You're able to catch it all.
And that's exactly what happened. So this was a lead that I wouldn't have had on my own. Like I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have known this guy. He came in through this lead platform.
Mm-hmm.
And then I followed up with him. I also used our systems to leverage
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the follow up.
Good.
And so when he was ready, he called me. It wasn't like I didn't call him this morning and he was like, coincidentally, yeah, let's go. He called me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Feels
that is a
so good to
direct
get
result.
somebody to call and say, come lift my house. Like,
Oh, that's
I've had it
amazing.
happen a few times in my career, and it's just like the best
It's the
experience.
best.
And,
Mhm.
sometimes you still have to go and give your listing
Sure,
presentation and
of
earn the
course.
business. And, if the seller's savvy, hopefully they're interviewing multiple agents.
Right.
But, yeah, no, that's such a great feeling, because you feel like you're doing your job well. You feel
Yes.
like you've done everything that you can do in your power, and what you're putting out into the universe is coming back full circle.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yay!
again, this was a direct result of our lead platform and then our follow-up systems.
Follow up is everything. I've said that from
Yeah.
the start, since before I got started in real estate. Yeah, follow up is like the number one thing in all of this.
Yeah.
It's all about relationship building and keeping clients going for
hmm
the longevity, because yes, it's not an easy business.
No.
And when you can, keep in front of people, and, the things that you're doing work, it makes you really feel good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It
Cool.
is. It's
Yay.
so
Yay,
fun.
Ashley. Awesome. So, yeah, but, and then, tell me a little bit about, the, opportunities that we're seeing in the Delaware market and Maryland market specifically. We are, seeing a lot of growth in both of
Yes.
those zones, and we actually
Yes.
have more opportunities in those areas right now,
hmm
than we have agents. So we have more leads than we know what to do with, and we are actively looking to bring
hmm
on more agents in those zones. So if you're an
Yeah.
agent in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, or New Jersey, and any of this resonates with you, or you're just considering looking what else is out there, Ashley and I are here and happy to help and get you any information you may need.
Absolutely. And it's always confidential. There is no
Yes,
pressure,
100%.
and the conversation stays between us. Feel free to just slide into my DMs. We'll just have a little chat. And same for Greta. And Greta and I often work together to help
Mm-hmm.
people work through these conversations and decide, what's best for them. So feel free to reach out to either one of us. We're
Mm-hmm.
just more than happy to help.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today, and looking forward. We've done a few of these before. We'll be doing them again. So looking forward to seeing you all online and out in the real estate field.
All right. Thank you, Greta.
See you soon, Ashley.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Yep.